Hello, this is Iron Bill back with another video. This one, once again, is Top Tree Dawnblade with the Duty Bound, the 7th Seraph CQC, Hammerhead, Transversive Steps with traction. I am spec'd out for resilience and recovery, and that's really about all there is to know. Oh, and sticky grenade, I guess I would add that. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about matchmaking, and not necessarily in a negative way like I typically do. It took about 10 minutes to get this match in connection-based matchmaking, and that's a severe indication that the player pool has dropped in a big way. And I will say that once I had matches today, for the most part, they were competitive matches. They were close one way or the other. I was on winning teams, I was on losing teams, and it didn't feel too bad to play. I mean, I think there was one blowout, but there'll always be at least one. But short of that, honestly, it felt all right to play. Now, I had differing levels of efficacy personally, but I can't complain. And I will say overall, my Warlock play is improving. My movement is improving. My decision making is improving, although standing out there in the open and taking a body by the sniper and continuing to fire is questionable. The thing is, Duty Bound did give these guys something to think about. There were two snipers on the other team, and I'm going to step up and challenge this guy. He's going to be up here on the ledge. I can see the glint, and I put enough on him that he really didn't want to stick with it. He backed off. Oh, and then, what I was trying to do was hold down C and prevent them from getting it. Our guy got heavy, went around the corner and got killed by their guy, who picked it up and then warcliffed me from behind. Now, that's what I get for solo queuing. If I'd had a teammate on there, they would have said, hey, they just picked up the heavy. They killed me. Look out. He's coming up behind you. Something like that. So that's the disadvantage, of course, of solo queue. All right, so trying to continue to take zones. Now, I'm sure I could stand with my group and I could continue to fire and I could pile up defeats. But if we don't hold zones, we can't win. There is a super there. I want to back up rather than take the L. Go check out B. Maybe try to put some heat on it. I don't have my melee yet, but I can put something on him. And look at this. The 7th Seraph just doesn't have the range to handle that. Now, I still managed to get a kill somehow, but there are 3 of them there. So the other 2 guys are able to finish me off. I tied him up there at B for just a little while, I guess. We got 2 zones. I guess I could call that a win. This fellow is not going to get away. Not going to let him get away with that. I think that's the guy who might have just killed me. Pretty sure it is. But that's when the 7th Seraph is okay. If you're beelining straight at somebody and they're not fighting back. And see, I ran right at that guy because I didn't realize that he was an enemy. And I should have. My awareness there was just not there. They're back in our zone, or at least they were. So that's got us on the back foot again. I've got my super. I don't think I get heavy. For whatever reason, it didn't go. And I think I turned away from it too soon again. And I thought, screw it. Not going to mess with it anyway. I usually just get killed with it. And watch me just stand here, not even moving. Man, stuff like that just drives me nuts. Such a newbie move. And if I just moved a little bit, I could have made him miss. And anyway, I just stepped around there nice and easy, head level. And he took my head off. Alright, so I've got my super here. And really, with the Dawnblade, you don't want to take that into confined spaces like I'm doing. That's a good way to get shotgunned right out of it. I'm going to hold this zone until I see teammates coming, and I'm going to try to get at least one more kill out of it. And I don't get the sniper, which is too bad. That's the guy I was really going for. He was the real threat. But we do have 2 zones again. And it was worth it that way because I was able to score more points with the zone advantage. Got a super behind me. I saw it as I ran through. Melee finishes him off. I temporarily pulled the shotgun out thinking that might be a good idea, and I realized it really is a horrible idea. Okay, now catch that guy. I see them coming on the left side. There he is. Check this grenade play out. Now I'm playing magnetic grenade. He's right there. he's done. There's no way he's getting out of that. Like the hero in a movie when the explosion's going off behind him, I didn't even look back. There was no reason. His shield was off, and a grenade stuck him, and yeah. Alright, so there's a super going there. I don't want any part of that. I'm trying to wait right here, and hopefully he'll play out, which I think he did. And again, I've got a guy back there just trying to fire on my position. I'm able to get this fellow. And while I'm in my well, I'm doing all right. I'm 60% of the way to a super already, which I tell you what, I see why people play top tree Dawnblade. I really do. Alright, so this guy just is taking all kinds of damage, and I cannot get him down. I just can't quite get it pulled down. Alright, so I went up, if you wonder what I just did there, I went up and stepped on the zone to clear it. And that made it impossible for them to just step right up and finish what they had. And that's the second time that guy's taken me with a Warcliffe. Otherwise, he was toast. We're 2 zones to 1. We're 10 points up. And, you know, we've come from, I think, a 20-point deficit to lead. And we've got to keep fighting the zones. You know, and the thing is, you can't ever afford to let up. You've got to play to the end. I'm going to make a move around the edge of that, and I realize that there's somebody sitting in the room there, and I'm going to have to just come in. We've got to have this zone. They're 3 points away now. What you're seeing here is that our kills are pretty much lining up. We're getting about the same number of kills. It's going to be who controls the zones. And that means we have to play the objective. And honestly, this is a nail biter. You know, I'm watching the score thinking, all right. How do I help nail this down? I see that fellow going in. I see that fellow going in. This guy would. Now, if I'd had a different grenade, I might have been able to make a bit more difference there. But that sticky grenade, unless it actually attaches to anything, isn't going to help at all. All right, so I've got my super. Take that guy out. This guy, if he was better with his shotgun, probably would have killed me. But he's not. And so we'll come back for the zone. And now we have an 11-point lead again in the last 2.5 minutes. My teammate there is covering the door well. That's going to keep them out of it for just a minute. Long enough for me to take it. So we need to be getting kills and holding our zones. Okay, this guy, I don't know. Well, I didn't switch to a shotgun because of the results I've been having with it. But I should have meleeed. I had a melee, and I basically gave up a free kill. You know, and honestly, I'm not going to be too hard on myself on that because my weapon selection there has not worked for me. I've had the right idea. I've tried to do the right thing. It's just the wrong gun. And I really have done better with submachine guns in that same situation. Alright, so there's a kill. And I'm trying to cover that heavy. Make sure that they don't get it. Because honestly, I don't want to get Warcliffed again. This guy thought he had a safe run for it. And if I'd gone right away, I might have gotten away with this. The other thing I needed to do, instead of trying to cut across the lane, which gave them an open line, I needed to hug the wall. And just move on out of there. But coulda, shoulda, woulda. You can see the line after I do it. Alright, so they've got an enemy super here. I put as much into him as I can. Decide, nope, I'm just going to take the L if I stay. We're up by 21 points. Now 19 points. And they're going to get all the zones if we're not careful. And they're all over me here. There's no way in the world I'm getting out of it. I got pincered. I stayed on the zone as long as I could, but they're going to triple cap us if we're not careful. I'm going to move back towards B, and I get sniped right out of here. I didn't get on his head quick enough. And I single-handedly have tossed 2 deaths into the pile there right when I should not have. I just didn't clutch up. Now at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I got to try for B. But I can't just go in there and toss another death in or we'll lose. And They've got a shield up, and I should have just gone in there and challenged it. I mean, we had 14, 15 seconds, and we lose by that. You know, what are you going to do? All right. I'm not unhappy with this. It was better Warlock play. I finished off personally pretty well. I'll let the results speak for themselves. But with that, this is Iron Bill, and I am signing out.